Hey, how's it going? It's Walsh here, sick as always. Welcome to episode 17 of the Keepers of the Flame League here on Ruthless SSF. The main plan for today is just to level up this character, try to hit level 89. I think I'm probably going to push for level 90 on this build just because it maps so well. The original plan was to do that on the Earthquaker, but like this character just does it so much better. It's almost no effort at all on my point to level up, and it's just doing a really good job of making me currency. Oh, I say that, and then I get deleted. To be fair, I just ran into like all these hands for no reason, but sure. But yeah, I hope you had a good weekend, and I will say I should actually be back sooner this week than I thought. There might be a video on Friday this week, but I'm not sure. But I will be leaving on Tuesday. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you near the end. I'm still really hoping to drop a cluster jewel. I have not been lucky so far. But to be fair, if you really think about it, I've only been farming on Delirium Tree for like 3 or 4 days. But still, even with that being said, not even seeing a single projectile jet or jewel is making me a little bit sad. But on the bright side, Ritual is starting to pay off. I got my very first King in the Mist fight. I mean, I don't own it yet, but it's deferred, so I will get it eventually, which is really nice. I still don't know how, like, the new Ascendancy stuff works. I don't like to look up stuff. If you know anything about me, I kind of like to just go into stuff blind and figure it out as I go. So I'm not sure, like, if you have to kill the boss and then you automatically get skill points to spend on the tree, or if you have to, like, do other, like, mini-quest stuff or whatever. I got a really nice Graph Blood increase. 24% is actually pretty damn good. I am gonna say, I am at the point now where I'm not really struggling so much with Graph Blood. I'm struggling with getting enough birthing pods, which I guess is the natural progression. Hirek had a unique strongbox, but unfortunately, it sucked. I think after this level, I'm gonna try and see if I can set myself in a position to actually go fight Cyrus or maybe Shaper or Elder. I highly doubt this character can do Cyrus. Maybe my Earthquaker can, just because it does so much damage. But I don't know if this one can for a couple of reasons. One, I have no spell suppression, I have no block. But more importantly, like, I can't really do damage unless Cyrus hits the totems. And that's not really going to be a fight where he hits them very often. Like, yeah, sure, there's going to be some moves where he will hit them pretty often, which will feel really nice. But I don't think it's going to be frequent enough to, like, feel okay. That's the one thing that's going for the Uber Elder fight, is I think I can easily get them to be, like, hit by Elder or Shaper. Hey, look at that. Multiple times at once, which will feel pretty damn good. But yeah, Cyrus fight, I'm not really sure. Like I said, a couple of his abilities will trigger it, but not too many of them. I would like to hit level 90 before I try anything bigger like that, or at least get my gems to level 20. But I don't know if... Oh my god, what is happening on this map? Should probably pay attention. But yeah, I don't really know how it's gonna go. I would... Hey, another Kirek. Every time I try to talk, something new drops. But yeah, I don't really know, like... Besides the cluster jewels, there's not really much gear upgrades I can do. I mean, obviously, I can get, like, more armor, more life, more res, stuff like that. But I'm not going to really be able to get damage any other way without clusters, or just getting, like, a weapon upgrade. But getting a weapon upgrade is going to be really difficult, but we'll figure it out. I alt-tabbed because I heard a weird Windows error message sound, so I was like, oh crap, is it not recording? And in that 1 microsecond I alt-tabbed, I died, which is unfortunate, but whatever. So I think my plan right now, I'm just going to focus on getting some levels, probably do some more Guardians, maybe a couple of mini-bosses when I hit level 89. And then I'm just going to go back to pushing for level 90 on this character. And on top of that, I really just want to try and farm a Cluster Jewel. I think it's probably... Are you going to kill me when I'm looking at my passives? I think it's probably not going to happen, but it would be the dream scenario to get, like, a large and 2 mediums and maybe a small or 2. Probably just 1 small. But I'll take even just 1 medium and putting a small in there, even if it's not like the most optimal route. I don't know why, I just really want to use clusters. I almost never get to use them, and it would just be fun. It always feels really good to get a Regal Orb, even if it's from your ships. Like, you can use Regals for so much, especially cluster jewels, but mainly I use them for, like, various rings or mostly jewels themselves. I actually got charged mine. Funny enough, I actually think I have every single support I need to make a miner. I'm missing a lot of trap stuff like Swift Assembly, but I have like Minefield, Charge Mine, and all that stuff, which is pretty nice, but I'm trying very hard not to make a miner character. Not for the entire league, but just not for right now. I had a little craft thing, I really suck at these. I mean, I've gotten like 1 or 2 good items from it, I think, but generally I do a pretty bad job. I always feel like I don't have enough time, and then I immediately rush to just like full exalt slamming it, and just like bricking it. But to be fair, like the way it used to work is I think you literally had like 4 seconds and now we have like 10 or whatever. So I just have to break that bad habit and I think it'll be fine. mapping is still going really well with this character. I'm getting pretty close to leveling up. I would like to hit level 90 on this build, which I probably will at some point. At first, I thought my Earthquaker was going to be my first 90 this league, but it's very much looking like it's going to be Holy Flame Totem, which is pretty sick. I mean, I didn't even know how I was going to feel about Holy Flame Totem, but I'm really glad that I also learned that I really enjoy just the Flamewood support in addition to the Totem, because anytime I find something I haven't played for a very long time, it just feels very satisfying. And it only took me like, what, 3 weeks, but I finally got a Fist of War, which I will be using. Sometimes when I'm like making a thumbnail or writing the title, I try not to like throw Ruthless in it because it kind of feels clickbaity. But the main reason I do that is I cannot tell you how many times I get suggestions to like, hey, use Flame Dash, or hey, just craft the res you need, or you could just like recolor your jewels with chromes. And it doesn't make me mad or anything. Like it's totally reasonable since like what, maybe 0.5% of the population plays Ruthless. Totally understand. But sometimes it's a little disheartening when people are like, oh, the thing that you're really proud of doing is actually super easy. You can do everything with it. But it's like, they're thinking about it in the context of you're guaranteed to have a 6 link. You have like crazy powerful and infinite cooldown, basically mobility skills and crafting bench and all that stuff. Which is totally fine. Like I said, there's like what? Maybe, just maybe, like 0.5% of the community that plays Ruthless, if that. So it's totally reasonable that they don't like think in that mindset. But yeah, it's not that simple. It's way more complicated than that. I'd also like to remind people that don't play Ruthless, we do not get any of the Delve modifiers. They don't exist. And we also can't get the Alpha modifiers. That's a very common one I see where I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get cold, like fizz to cold conversion. And they're like, hey, you like Alpha, just get the Alpha gloves. Yeah, we don't have them. And again, I'm not upset with anyone or anything like that. I just kind of like want to gently remind people it's not that easy. And the reason I don't use Quickstep is when Ruthless was first made, part of like, even before it came out, part of the big hype for me personally was no movement skills. Like, you have to figure out how to play the game without a free escape button. And that was like a really big draw to me on top of everything else, obviously. So I refused to use Quickstep. I kind of wish they didn't cave in and immediately add one. But at the same time, I think it was the right decision because I think a lot of people would have stopped playing Ruthless without it. And I don't think it's necessarily like a bad thing. I don't think it's like if you use it, you're not truly playing Ruthless or anything like that. It's just, for me personally, it's more Ruthless to not use it. And it just makes me enjoy the experience more. Because for years, it's always been the same thing. Like, I could play, like, really janky, squishy characters, and it didn't matter because 90% of the abilities you could just avoid with Flame Dash or Leap Slam. So yeah, pretty happy with not having Quick Step. Sorry, I had to sneeze. But also, it's just like, I'm really trying to use Flame Totem here, and I don't know. Like, I understand that the Infernal Mantle, like the Foulboard one, is probably way better. And realistically, if I get one and I end up like 5 linking it, I might switch to it and try it out, but only as a last resort. I really want to see how far I could take Zoth's Blood and Tukuhama's Fortress, like in just a modern day PoE league. And already it feels amazing. Like, I mean, obviously this is very low level delving, but everything on this character just feels so comfortable. Like, this is probably gonna be my main character for a while until I roll something better. Now that I have Fist of War, I'm probably gonna level that up. Or, I mean, I am leveling it up. But once I'm done leveling it up, I'm probably gonna go to the Earthquaker and try to do some boss content. Oh my god, I almost just died. I was just talking about how comfortable it feels. I almost got murdered. But yeah, anyway, Ruthless, there's a lot more changes than you think. Like, for example, something that most people don't know, we do not have Pantheon, so we can't just get, like, immunity to freeze and bleed and stun and whatever. It's been so long, I don't even remember what Pantheons do. I just remember they were busted. We also don't get divination cards, so I actually can't farm cards. But anyway, yeah, I just want to talk about that because I think a lot of people don't understand just how restricted we are on Ruthless, and that's totally fine. Totally fine, just wanted to explain. I have a really nice stockpile of support gems at this point for pretty much everything. I'm not saying I have every support, I'm definitely missing quite a few of them, but I do have a lot of the really good high utility value ones. Got a really nice helmet here. Obviously the rolls are kind of low, but anytime you get decent mana, decent life, and a couple resistances on it, it feels really good. Especially if I play a mana stacker at some point, which I'm always on the lookout for. If you know me, you know I love mana stacking. I just really enjoy the play style of it. I don't always do it, and I don't always do it in a smart way, but I do enjoy playing it. I got my very first projectile cluster jewel finally after all this time. Unfortunately, it did roll 6 instead of 5, but it's not really a problem right now. It's not going to cost me an extra point. It's only going to matter if I want to use like small jewels or whatever, which obviously we're not at that point yet. And you know what? I didn't want to spend too much like money on it, but I did end up getting two notables. I don't know if they're the best ones, but I mean, two notables is pretty damn good. Changed my tree a little bit, and I do end up changing it again in just a little while after this. I really just like wasn't sure how I wanted to roll this, or sorry, how I wanted to respec my tree, because I kind of forgot the plan was to like unspec the fire res and like do all that. But I'll talk more about that later. I think what I'm gonna do after like I hit level 89, or maybe I'll wait for level 90, I'm gonna start using my delirium scarabs and more trash. I really just want to like do a couple of really juiced up maps and see if I can get a bunch of cluster jewels. I'm still not convinced using a large one is gonna be worth it, but like at the same time, I just really want to use one because I don't think I've ever done a large, medium, and small on a character before in Ruthless, so that would be pretty fun. Delirium hasn't been super kind to me, but my tree has. I have like I have basically no birthing pods left, but every time I use them, I'm getting support gems, getting some currency. Every once in a while, I get a decent piece of gear. I dropped another hive encounter, and I was like, you know what? I'm almost leveled up. I might as well try it. I hit level 89, which I'm very happy about. One more level to go, and I figured I might as well go and fight the boss. I took the point backs or over 5k life, and I gotta tell you, this character every time I gain a single level, it just feels so much better. Got a couple uniques. I got one that's basically useless and one that's just kind of, I don't know, dumb. There's obviously no fish. But anyway, the fight was going really well in the first phase. It's the best I've done so far. This fight is so much easier when you can just stand far away, which obviously is the case for like 90% of, I almost said League of Legends, 90% of Path of Exile. If you have to stand right next to it, it can be pretty scary, but if you move far away, you're usually pretty safe. And as I say that, my first death is running next to the boss for no reason. And I will say this is the farthest I have made. I am so close to killing them. The fight was going really well. I do believe, because I haven't seen a gap in that huge like area of effect, I think you're supposed to just stand right next to the boss when she does it. I just don't know the voice lines yet. I could be wrong, but I died a few more times just by being greedy and stupid. And right there again, I died to the AoE. I like ran all the way around once or twice in this fight looking for like the gap in the explosion, but I just didn't see one. But anyway, I did end up killing the boss. I had no portals left, so it's not exactly a clean kill, but I did get it done. I got my first Ascendancy unlock, which apparently you don't get any points for, so I guess you have to do something else. Maybe you just have to fight the Hive thing again and you'll get points. I have no idea. Also, hopefully you can respec it, because I kind of just blindly took it, because I was like, why not? I'm assuming you can. I'd be very surprised if you can't change it. I talked the little NPC stuff. My little NPC died or whatever, and still no points. What gives? Hey, look. Hey, Snowblind. That's pretty cool, I guess. Hey, made this far in the video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We are level 89 now, which feels pretty incredible. I'm still not really sure how the hell I get points for this. I'm assuming I have to kill another boss, or maybe even kill the same boss again. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. I did chain my tree, as you saw earlier. We got combat stamina, discipline, and training. I remembered later on that I was actually going to drop these 3 points instead of dropping stuff here, but it's fine. This worked out just fine, I think. The cluster jewel is not perfect, but I'm also not going to complain. It could have been way worse. I don't expect I'm going to, like... I mean, I'm definitely not going to use a small jewel for a 6 socket like this, because it's going to waste points or whatever. But, I mean, at least we have a jewel. I can at least say I have a cluster jewel in this character, and that's an upgrade, I guess. I was really tempted to throw a bunch of Chaos Orbs on that jewel, but since I did get two notables, I didn't want to push it too hard, so I'm just going to leave it for now. I am very close to having 3 different Pinnacle fights, which I am looking forward to. I might even spec Harvest a little bit and try to get some like Harvest stuff to reroll fragments. But at the same time, if I just keep doing like Harbingers, I can just roll my Guardians anyway and get it done like that. I'm probably going to go do a memory next. I might try and fight Cortex on this character. I think this build might actually be pretty good on Cortex just because they hit so often. Sorry about my voice. I am getting sick, and I expect to be sick after the holidays. Just a reminder, this is, Thanksgiving weekend, or sorry, Thanksgiving week coming up. So I will be leaving on Wednesday, and I'll be returning, like, I might have a video out Friday or Saturday, but likely I'll be back on that following Monday. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.